This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 221 through 230, each of which relates to forgiveness. I'll be repeating this same intro for each of the lessons 221 through 230, so you can scan past this intro in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further thoughts are provided in the description below. We are now in part 2 of the workbook. The introduction to part 2 tells us that, quote, words will mean little now. We use them but as a guide on which we do not now depend. For now we seek direct experience of truth alone, end quote. In your practice sessions, try to go beyond the words. Seek the feelings, the experience the lesson is trying to guide you to. That is how you learn and live the course. Quote, sit silently and wait upon your Father. He has willed to come to you when you have recognized it is your will he do so. End quote. Listen for your internal teacher and guide, what the Course calls the voice for God or the Holy Spirit. He is there, and he will come. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 227, August 15th. This is my holy instant of release. The point of this lesson is that it can be today. So, even if you do not experience anything special or extraordinary, which you probably won't, you could, and someday you will. Trying harder or forcing it won't make it happen. In fact, it hurts rather than helps. When you have truly laid down your burden, it will just happen. The title of today's lesson is, This is my holy instant of release. As is the case with many of the lessons in part 2 of the workbook, the prayer and message may not seem to accurately describe where you feel you are in your spiritual progress. For example, the lesson states that today you have laid down your dreams and returned to heaven. I suspect that few of us, if any, believe that. But we need to remember that while part 1 of the workbook dealt with our prior ways of seeing, part 2 describes our new vision and life as a child of God. So while the prayers and lessons of part 2 do accurately describe us, they describe a reality which we do not yet see. But that is why we are studying the Course. We are being trained to remember and see. The lessons and prayers describe the gifts and beauty that we will enjoy when we wake. They describe who and what we will remember ourselves to be when we finally forgive ourselves and the world. That is, when we fully see the reality beyond the illusion.